75, 50, 25, 20, 40, 10, 5,
Asus,
4,
please mic
2,
off.
And I'm just waiting for
8
the
lakh,
co-host
like
access.
100
Hi, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Please turn your mics off if you don't have any questions right now. Okay. Okay. So this is the first session for computational thinking for this term. So I'm Manideepa. I'll be your lead instructor for this course. Along with me, I will have Praveen as my co-instructor, along with Nitish as well. So about this course, let me give you an introduction first, and just the operational things I'll explain, and Praveen will take rest of the session today. So today we'll be starting with week 1. Just the theory part we'll cover today. So week 1 does not have a very heavy content. So we can finish the theory part today. And if something is left, then we can carry it forward to the next session, and we'll be practicing some of the practice and activity questions as well. Okay. So let me share my screen quickly and show you some of the things about the course. Okay. Is my screen visible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
visible.
Okay. So I hope everyone has access to the course portal, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
So
ma'am.
first thing I want you to do is just go to this week 0 content, and here you can find all the important documents and resources, right? So you all have to go to this course calendar and add it to your own calendars. Okay, so that way you'll have all the links for all the sessions, TA and instructors. Now for this particular course, we also will have 3 TA sessions in a week. So the TAs for this term are Srijak and Devanshu. You can find all the TA session links in calendar as well, and any resources that they give, they can also add in the calendar. Okay, so after adding the calendar, now next thing, let's discuss what is the grading policy. So here you can find it. So basically, we'll have one quiz, which is the quiz 1, which will have the first 4 weeks of content. Then in quiz 2, we'll have first 8 weeks of content, and then in your end term exam, all 12 weeks. Right. So the weightage and everything we will be discussing in sessions, week-wise weightage, how the question papers will be. And the T-score calculation also you can see here. That is your final score calculation. Now the eligibility to write the final exam is that your average of the best 5 out of the first 7 weeks of weekly assignments. That is, per week you'll have 2 assignments. One is the practice assignment, which has no grades, and the graded assignment, right? So we will be counting the best 5 of the first 7 weeks of graded assignment scores. And there you should have scored greater than or equal to 40 out of 100. Right. And other than that, another eligibility is that to obtain the final course grade, you have to attend the end term exam. Right. And also attendance in one of the quizzes is mandatory. Okay. Now, other than this, about this course, so in CT, this is, you can think of this course as like a precursor to learning any programming language. Right. So in this course, we won't be focusing on any particular language like C or Python or Java, right? So we won't have any direct syntax like that. What we will discuss is how to develop algorithms, how to develop the thinking before that you have to do before you actually write the code, right? So mostly in CT, we'll be working with something called pseudocode, which is basically plain English, right? The syntax is in plain English. So this pseudocode will run from week 1 to week 12. Every topic that we discuss, we will be writing pseudocode on each of those topics. Other than that, there will be in the question papers 3 types of questions you'll have: MCQ type, MSQ type, and numerical answer type. Okay, so that's pretty much about it. Other than that, you also have to check out these common data sets, right? So in CT, we have some data sets. Here you can find the drive link. So if you open this, you can see these are all the different data sets. We have scores, data set, library, words, Olympics, everything. All the templates are given here. And in your exams as well, you will be given the data sets, right? I mean, the templates of the data sets. So in some of the assignment questions, you might see that you will have to go through each of the cards in, let's say, scores data set to find out the answer. But in exam, we won't be having that much time to go through all the cards one by one, right? So that type of question is just for your practice. In exam, you will just be given the templates, that how each card looks like, what are the different fields. So all of that will become clear to you if you solve the questions. So yes, get acquainted with these data sets. That is one thing. Uh, Other than that, yes, I think we have pretty much caught up. So today is the first session for week 1. Now, typically the sessions will be like this. The first session on Monday will try to cover the theory part entirely. Then on the next session, hopefully on Friday, you will have these 4 days of time and you can practice the assignment questions on your own. On the Friday and Saturday sessions, we'll be discussing the activity and the practice questions. Right. And after your graded assignment deadline is over, any doubts that you have regarding that will be discussed in the, again, next Monday session. Okay. So that's about it from my side. Now, Praveen, you can continue with the rest of the session. Thank you, everyone.
Ma'am, one doubt my
Yes, yes.
मैम माल प्रैक्टिस रूल्स नॉट अंडरस्टूड ये समझा दीजिएगा तो
Yeah, so these are the rules. So you can just go through this thing that is given. Right. So these are all the rules regarding what are the different malpractices and plagiarisms. So all of these things will have some consequences, right? So you can just read this document that is given here. So first of all, academic malpractice is obviously going to include copying during examination. So you'll have proctored exams, right? You will go to the centers and give the exams. So any kind of malpractice during that, or any kind of plagiarism, any kind of use of AI tools during exam. So all of these things will later on go to the disciplinary committee if it is caught during the examination, right? Then again, there are also non-academic malpractice, which you can read here. It is given. You can also go through the student handbook once, which is given again here in this week 0 content, all the resources you can find here. Right. So any kind of malpractice that is found during your exam, whether it is academic or non-academic. So the thing is, you might even lose your course grade in this. So that will be decided by the disciplinary committee.
Ma'am, is there
And
any official WhatsApp group for?
sorry, come again.
Is there any official WhatsApp group to join? Because there are many WhatsApp groups for this one. I don't
See,
know where
we
to
don't
join.
have we actually don't have any WhatsApp groups. We have this Google forum. I think all of you have joined that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And for foundation students, we also have the
Ma'am,
discourse forum.
I have a question, ma'am.
Yeah.
When the week 2 content will be released?
So every week, Thursdays, the contents will be released.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Hello, ma'am. I
And
also have a question. Hello.
yeah.
Yeah, ma'am. Suppose I am a working employee. So suppose there are multiple session in a day is happening. Okay, TA session and
Mm.
all. So if I miss any of the session, where can I find the recordings? Because I may not be joining all the
Yeah,
sessions.
yeah. So see, every session that happens will be recorded, right? So the instructor sessions will be directly streamed on YouTube. So you can find it under this IITM BS degree channel. We'll have a CT playlist for this Jan term. Under that, you can find all the instructor sessions, and the CT ES sessions will also be recorded. The recordings, we will upload the links in the calendar itself. Okay.
In the calendar is like.
Yeah.
Okay.
After the session, we'll upload the links.
Okay. Ma'am. Thank you.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Can you tell me that what is the eligibility to write the qualifier exam on March 15 we have to do? It means if we submitted the graded assignment, is it enough?
Yes, submit the graded assignments, and for qualifier, yes, the first 4 weeks graded assignments.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Anything else?
मैम दिस इज द
Excuse me.
फर्स्ट क्लास फॉर सिटी
Sorry, come again?
दिस इज द फर्स्ट क्लास फॉर सिटी
Yes, yes, this is the first session.
Can I go?
Please, actually, can you tell again what is practice assignment and what is graded assignment?
Okay, see here, the week 1 content is released, right? So if
Yeah,
you
ma'am.
scroll down after the lectures, after each lecture, you can see an activity assignment is there. So these are not graded. You can see it is written not graded. These are just for your practice. Other than that, here you also have this week 1 practice assignment. Okay, so
Ma'am,
these are
on
the questions that you can
portal,
practice on
the
your
lecture timing is 2:30.
own. Sorry, what are you saying?
On the portal, lecture timing is 2:30.
Your voice is not clear to me.
Ma'am, your voice is echoing.
Okay, just give me a second. Okay, now can you hear me?
Ma'am, some students have unmuted their mic, so that's why their voice is echoing.
Okay. Who is this person? Please mute yourself if you don't have any questions. See, in CT sessions, this has happened before also that students have, shared their screens during the classes or unmuted themselves. So please don't do anything that is disturbing the class, right? Because we don't have that much time. It's just a 2-hour class. Don't do all of these things because then we'll just have to ban you from the meeting, right? Don't do that. Okay,
Excuse
so
me, ma'am.
yeah.
Where is the Google Form link? Like you were talking about some Google Form.
No, Google Forum. It is a Google Forum. It is a group, right, for qualified students where you can discuss your queries.
Yeah, where is that the group? Google Forum.
Okay, you don't have the link. I'll share it.
Yeah, please.
Okay, I'll post it in the chat before I leave. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
I have a doubt.
Yeah.
Where can I find the deadlines of all the assignments? The dates.
The dates are just going to be 1 week from the release, right? So this
So
week
each
it
week
is.
it will be given.
Yeah. Each week, when the content is released, you can find the deadline on top of the assignment.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so you have this practice assignment. This is not graded. This is just for your practice, and this is the graded assignment for week 1. So this one is the one that will carry the marks, right? So here you can see the deadline. So 18th Feb is the deadline for this week 1 assignment. Okay, anything else?
Is it compulsory to do the
Ma'am, I have a
non-graded
question, ma'am.
assignments?
Sorry, one by one, please.
Ma'am, is it compulsory to do the non-graded assignment?
No, practice assignments are up to you, but I would suggest please do it. Those are all equivalent to the exam questions. All of the exam questions are very similar to the practice and graded assignments.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I have a doubt, ma'am.
Yes.
मैम फाउंडेशन टर्म के वो डेडलाइंस कितनी है, मतलब हम उनको फाउंडेशन कोर्स की जो टर्म्स है उन्हें हम कितनी टर्म्स में कंप्लीट कर सकते हैं सब्जेक्ट को?
Foundation, I think you can complete in 3 terms, 3 terms, I think. You can. I'm not entirely sure what is the limit, like how many terms you can take. That you can check it once in the.
मैम
I think it should
I
be
found a
given.
notification from the IIT Madras group
Hmm.
on WhatsApp, तो उसमें 4 टर्म्स 6 टर्म 9 टर्म्स के बारे में गिवन है। हमने
Okay.
2026 में वो ज्वाइन किया था, जिसमें से हमने 2 टर्म वो एक किसी वजह से हम लोग वो एक तरह से लीव छोड़ दी थी 2 टर्म। तो हमारे पास मैसेज आ रहा है उसमें से कि ये 2026 का जो टर्म है आपके लिए डेडलाइन टर्म है फाउंडेशन लेवल के लिए।
Did you get an official mail for this?
यस मैम।
Okay, then what subjects are left for you in foundation?
मैम हमारी अब फिलहाल में सीटी स्टैटिक्स 2 मैथ 2 चल रही है, केवल वो रह गया हमारे पास, पाइथन रह गया केवल।
But you cannot do Python before you complete CT, right?
यस मैम।
So that is not possible to do in this term. What
Ma'am,
I'll
I
say is
guess
if
he'll be given a warning first, and
Hmm, but
then
I'm not entirely sure, so I would say that you can write a mail to support once regarding this, okay?
मैम
okay,
मैम
ma'am. Thank you.
9 टर्म तक कंप्लीट करने का होता है,
Okay,
वेबसाइट पे
ma'am.
लिखा
Thank
हुआ
you.
So
था।
if you're writing a mail to support, just ask them to give you the entire rule book on how
Excuse
many
me,
times
ma'am.
you can. Yeah.
Ma'am, in
Okay, ma'am. Thank
grading
you.
document, everything is mentioned
Yeah,
there.
it is mentioned. still, if it since he got a mail, so it is better you can check with support once.
Excuse
Okay,
me,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, I have noticed a pattern that every time I open the practice assignments, the questions keep changing. Is it deliberately done? I mean,
No, questions are not changed.
Can I
actually,
ask this?
when I opened the practice assignment for the last time, the questions were some questions were different, and now when I again opened the same thing, the questions were a bit different. I Not
Is this
very
also
different,
for
not
others?
radically different.
Anyone else had this issue?
No,
Yes,
ma'am.
Yeah, it
yes,
doesn't
ma'am.
get changed, ma'am. Same issue I was having. It
Yes,
just
ma'am.
Series
I
changed
have
the
of
also.
questions was changed.
Okay, so like
It
what
is
number of
not an
questions would
issue. I think it's deliberately done.
just do one thing. This thing is happening for a few students, but not for everyone. Okay, no issue. I will check it and I will let you know in the next class. Okay, that is, or any one of you, whoever is having this issue, can just send me a mail. I'll leave my mail ID here. I'll respond to you once I confirm. Okay, but these practice assignments are not carrying any grades, so it is okay. But still, I'll confirm. I'm leaving my mail ID in the chat. Just send me a mail regarding that. Yes, anything else?
Yeah, actually, I like to know where we can find the additional resources like PYQs and question books, questionnaires.
Yeah, one second. Uh, is everyone able to see my mail ID in the chat?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So PYQs, see, mostly PYQs will be discussing in the revision sessions. Okay, now if you want the PYQs, we can also make a post on Discourse for a few of the previous terms we can consolidate. But I think there is already a website that your classmates are using or your seniors used, so you can get the link of that too.
Yeah.
So there they have compiled all the PYQs.
And also, last question, like when I was registering for this course, they asked for this requirement for like laptop. So currently, I use 2020 Mac Air, which doesn't meet the like requirement as prescribed by the university. So, like, by what time should I like upgrade my laptop for like this course?
See, for CT, actually, there is no such hardware software requirements that we give, okay? Because here we don't have an OP exam or anything. But since you're going to have to take Python next term, so by then you should do it.
And
Okay,
from
so
where
like
we
by
can
next
get the discourse link.
Discourse link, yeah, I'll share in the chat. Wait. Yes, anything else?
Yeah, hello, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe in the graded assignments are not, there is no weightage in graded assignments, right? For the intern.
Graded assignment weightage is there. See, this is the, wait a second.
Because I just checked the grading policy, it is mentioned that it only for intern and
Oh,
the,
you're saying the T-score.
where?
The
Yeah,
T-score calculation you're asking.
yes, I can see the T score.
Yeah, so there is some weightage from GA you can see.
10 marks is there, ma'am.
It
From
only
GA.
max points 6 F plus 0.3 max quiz 1, quiz 2.
Because actually what happens is, till last term we had some weightage on GA, but this term the grading has changed a bit. So some of the graded questions will be present in your exams themselves, okay, in quiz 1, quiz 2 and term. There will be some questions from directly from the graded assignments.
Yeah, but
exactly
if I
the
will
same
score
question.
80% in graded assignment, that score will not get counted in the intern, right?
No, that is not there in the final T-score calculation.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Anything else? Okay, then I'll just share the discourse link in the chat box once. If you don't have any other question, then we'll just proceed with the content for week 1 now. Okay. Yeah, Praveen, you can start now.
Yeah, sure. Can someone confirm whether I'm audible?
Yes,
Yes, so
yes,
you
you are,
are.
sir.
Yeah, okay. Let's start the session now. Let's revise this content of first week in this session. Uh, so if you guys were having any more doubts, we'll discuss at the end. Okay. And please mute yourself if you are not speaking in between the session. And please raise your hands one by one once the session is ended so that we can have a discussion or whatever we discussed today in this class. Okay. Okay. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. It's visible.
Sure. So let's start from the basics, whatever we saw in week one. So in week one, first we studied what is mean by dataset, right? So a dataset is nothing but okay. Before let me starting the session. May I know how many of them watched the CT content of first week?
Yes, sir. I watched.
So I have watched.
Yeah, I have checked all the my videos first week.
Okay, sure. So a dataset is nothing but it's a collection of data, right? So the collection of data which we have given, but mainly in this course we will be dealing with four types of data set. One is course data set, another one is shopping bill data set, and one more is words data set, you can see, and one more is train data set. I think the train data set is not from week 1 to 4, but it will be in later of the weeks.
Sir,
Okay.
Olympic dataset is there also, I guess.
Olympic dataset is given as a template, which we might ask some questions based on pseudocodes in the exam, but majorly we will be covering these four datasets only.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So these are the four datasets that we'll be covering. Okay. I'll quickly go through what each dataset contains and what does it mean. Uh, so the for the dataset, you can go into the practice assignment section, or you can find it on the top also. In each practice assignment, you will be able to see a link for the data. So you can see here, click here to view the data. So this will have all the data sets, you can see. So these are the templates. So which will be given in your exams also to understand on which data set the questions are being asked, how the data will look like. But the major data sets are given in folder. So if we take an example of the scores data set, we have around 30 cards. So you can see each card is a record. So here we have the fields like name, gender, date of birth, town, city, and the subject marks. You can see mathematics, physics, chemistry, total. And also we have something called index number or serial number, which used to represent the order of the data set, right? The zero represent the serial number zero, and here one which says the number two card, number three card, which we can represent. So similarly, if you see every card can refer it as a record, will come later to that. And it has some fields and it has some values associated to it. I hope everyone is familiar with this data set, the name, gender, date of the town, city, and marks, which we have seen in our school days as well. So, but some Let me open another data set.
I
It's
was
taken
having a
exam.
doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in the first data set, number 10 is not given. When I was solving the assignment, in that
Uh,
number 10 was not given. Like from
the
1
serial
to
number
30. Yeah, serial number 10.
is it? No, it
Yeah,
has
one
no
second.
9, 10.
Oh, so it was 11. It was 11. My bad.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. 11 was missing from the
Yes,
data.
ma'am, you are audible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
the number 11 card, you can find the data in the PDF. Okay, so for now, use the PDF, please.
Which PDF?
The scores PDF that is given in the
Okay.
same
Just I'll
folder.
show it here.
Yeah.
Here there is a scores data set. You can refer it here.
Just let me just screenshot it.
I have already sent this
No,
in the
no,
discussion
it's
forum as well.
Okay.
so if we take an example of shopping bills, it has a different type of data structure if you see, which I'll explain later. But again, if you see, each card has a serial number, you can see, and the name of the person and the store name. Well, this is just a store name. The SV store is nothing but the store name or the shop name. And it has a list of items, the items which bought by the customer in that particular shop or store. Similarly, which category that item belongs to, what is the quantity they bought, and what is the price, and what is the total cost for that specific item. And finally, it has a sum of all the cost, total cost. So these are again, this card represent another shop, Big Bazaar, and the person who bought all these items is Sudhi. And it has, I guess, serial number. Again, you can see it has category, quantity, price, and cost. This also you might look familiar. It just, for cost, they just multiply quantity into price and the items category. So this is how the data set will get. And the paragraph, if you take a paragraph, so each data set will have what is the word and whether it is pronoun, noun, or conjunction, parts of speech will be there, and what is the letter count. Again, the serial number is given. This is even simpler than the other data. Okay. So as of now, you can refer to this. So it has up to 50, more than 50 cards, I guess, around 65 cards. So let's go back to some of the concept explanation, the various types of data types which we have discussed in the lectures.
Sir, can you tell me whether this data set will be useful for our qualifier exam as well?
Used for the
Qualifier exam.
qualifier exam, we won't be giving the entire card data set. For example, here the scores has 30 data set, we won't be giving, but we'll be giving this templates, this pictures you see, right? The library Olympics. So you can assume we are asking questions based on the data set, so that you can assume if we call something like mathematics mark, whether equal to 90, if we are asking something in the code, so that you can refer, okay, this is how the data set structure will look like. These are the fields that it has. So for that, we'll be giving the template so that you can also understand.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So these templates will be given. So for example, this exactly as the same template, you can see the row number, which I said as a serial number 0 to 29, name, gender. These templates will be given so that you will be able to understand on which field we are asking the question. For example, whether we are referring mathematics, physics here or not. So for words also it has a template, whatever we have seen.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, graded assignments are just quizzes, right? Like we don't have to write and upload anything.
No, you don't need to write or upload anything. You just need to submit your answers in the portal. You just need to select the options and submit.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Now, let's go to the concept of variables and iterators. So, can someone say what is mean by variable if you have seen the lectures?
Sir, it is
The
an
values which
entity.
varies.
Yes, sir. Whose it is an entity whose values keep change.
Hmm. So
The
the
values
variable.
which
Or
keep
in simpler language,
changing
we can say that it is
for
like a
observations.
container or a box that stores data. It keeps changing.
So first, the variable is used to store the data. Right? So you can store any data, and if we do some operation, keeps changing when we do some operation, right? So for example, if I want to give an
Sir,
example, I can
variable
say
got changed or the data inside the variable got changed?
the data inside the variable changes. So for
So,
example, if I say name, I can say this as a variable, and I can store it name equal to some person name, anything that could be, right? I can store it even my name. So I can store it like this. And in future, if I want to change this name to some other, I can store it to some other name also. So if you see the variable name is same, but the value which is holding it can change. Is it clear?
so this variable means the attribute of the table, right?
Attribute of the
Attributes of the table.
you can say like that when you come to the pseudocode, but we use variable for other purposes also. For example, if I randomly want to count the cards, which is not an attribute of your table, right? The count is not given. But whenever I read the card or something I do with the card, I can just simply increment the count. I can keep on change this to 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So cannot say it's just as an attribute of the table.
Okay, sir.
So here also if you see the count is same, but the values which I am giving it's keep on changing. It might change at any point when you do some operations. So I'm not getting into pseudocode so that I'm not giving you an example properly. But as of now, you can say the variable is something you store the data, but it can change the value whenever you do some operation. Okay. Is it clear?
Yeah, sir, it's clear.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
So there is something called constant variable, which we won't be using much in this course, but I'll explain what is mean by constant variable. So constant variable means once we have declared a value, sorry, once we assign some value to it, for example, if I say max equal to 100, once I have given this value won't be changing or shouldn't be changed or not allowed to change. I can say like that because it depends on the some programming languages. because every programming languages has its own syntax and conditions. Okay?
Sir, I have seen that the keyword final is used. Final variable, any variable.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, you
In
can use
Python or
any
in
variable.
Java. Yeah.
Yeah. So in CT, you won't be focusing much on syntax. I'm just saying. So this value won't be changed or not allowed to change. That is something called constant variable. You can
Sir,
simply remember this as a
sir,
not allowed to change. But you can't see much in the CT course. But when you actually use any language like Python, Java, or C, you might be using it. Okay.
sir, one question, sir. Can I get the recording session of that?
Which session?
This session, sir, and the
This session
upcoming
will
sessions.
we'll be updating in the calendar, and you can also watch it on YouTube later.
This can also be like we can watch it on YouTube. You are saying
We'll upload it later.
so, like tomorrow, tomorrow, would it be possible that we can see it till tomorrow?
Uh, I'll inform the team, but by tomorrow it's supposed to uh, be uploaded in YouTube.
Okay, sir. And like, is there any like where can we find the link of those session of all the recorded session? Like, is it in a Google sheet or it's always in the calendar?
We'll update in the calendar, and you can also find the sessions in a YouTube playlist. We'll be maintaining a playlist also for all the CT classes.
And for the particularly TS session, sir, if there is any Google sheet, please also mention it in the calendar,
As
sir.
as of now, we are not maintaining any TA sheet. If we are maintaining, we'll attach in calendar. And we'll announce it in the forums also, discussion forums. Okay. So I can move on to next concept.
Sir, can you tell me about the constant variable again? It means it's not allowed to change, means it cannot be less than as well.
Less than means?
It means 99, like that.
Yeah. It could be any value. I have just taken an example for it. You can take any value, random value. For example, even in this case, name or anything, you can store it at any value. For example, 99, 97, or any one of the value here. But once you assigned it, that is not allowed to change.
Okay. Always it is constant, right?
Once you assign, then it is not allowed to change. That is called constant variable.
Okay.
Then how it is
We
different from the constant? Why it is called constant variable and not constant?
because we are assigning it in a variable, right?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
We use a variable,
Yeah.
and this
Yeah.
variable always
Sir,
has a one single value. That's why you are calling as a constant variable.
sir, why do we use a constant keyword if we can just use a variable and never change its value? Does declaring something as a constant help the computer run the program faster, or is it just to prevent human errors?
When you write the code, in sometimes you
I'm
need a
audio.
arbitrary constant values. For example, if you want to perform some calculator operation, how I don't know how many of you know the value of E, which is equal to 2.71, or the famous value pi equal to 3.14, which if we round it off. So these are the variables that you always need to assign a constant values. in your code, right? It is not supposed to
If
change.
I have two variables, so if I have two variables with the same name in different parts of my code, how does the
So
computer decide which one to use?
let's not get into how compiler works, okay? I'll, maybe we'll discuss at the end, because every language has its own syntax, as I said. So I don't want to get into the compilation issue, those things. Okay. Since this is a basic course, we'll discuss the basics first. Then later, if you have any doubt, I'm happy to discuss at the end of the session, or you post it in discuss forum. We'll have a conversation regarding. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Sir, this is the first class of this session, na, sir?
Eh,
CT1.
Yeah. This is the first session. That's why the first half an hour went over the doubts, general doubts regarding the course. Okay. So next, using this variable, we can do the filterings also, right? So for example, if marks, suppose you are assigning a marks equal to 50. At some point, if you want to
Sir,
check
does we
whether,
get the recorded class?
yeah, it's recording, we'll upload it later. Suppose we assign a mark equal to 50. At some point, if we need to check whether the mark is greater than 80 or not, to know whether the student has actually scored top marks or not. So in that case, what we can do is we can use a Boolean operators. Operators in the sense we can, this is a classic max symbols. You can see greater than, lesser than, the and the plus minus. We'll be doing all these operations with the numbers, right? So we can check whether the marks is greater than or 80. Here, what is it referring actually? So if it is greater than, you can say true, right? If it is greater than, else you can say false. So actually here, it's take comparing with the 50. 50 greater than 80 or not. So you can say it is false. So the code will go and check whether this is true or false and execute something. Whether in this case, I'm just saying true or false. So it will print true or false something. So whenever you assign some variable to some value, not only integer, you can assign some names also. So you can assign and check with this operators actually. And you can also compare with equal to, right? So we'll come to the operators next. So I just wanted to give an example using the variables. We can uh, have a definitions or comparisons like this. Comparisons, or even you can check whether it is not equal or equal to. Okay. Then so far, any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir, I'm clear with this.
No, sir.
Okay. Great. Uh, we have also discussed about something called flowcharts in the lectures, if you guys have seen. So we use four symbols: the rectangular one and the cornered rectangle. Let's say the rectangles are not square,
Oval type.
oval type. You can say not.
Rounded
Sharp
corners.
corners, it has a rounded corners. Okay. And next one is the arrow mark. And next one is the diamond shape. Sorry for the bad drawing. Okay. Can someone say what does it mean by?
Sir, it is activity box, activity or process
Uh,
box.
so this we say as a process or activity. So that means we'll be doing some operations here. We'll be doing some operations here. Operation in the sense now, as of now, you can assume that I do either plus, minus, multiplication, division, or whether I'm checking equal to or not
Comparison.
equal to, greater than, lesser than. I hope everyone is familiar with the symbols, at least.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And sir,
So
this box also we can use the variables, right? In this
yeah,
box.
yeah, you can use.
Okay, sir. Like initializing and updating the
Mm-hmm.
values. Okay.
Yeah, okay. That's why I said we'll be doing some operations here that we can consider in initialization as also. And this you can say start or ending of the
Terminal
program.
box.
Terminal but
Terminal.
Start or end or terminal, you can say end of the program. And this one,
This
it's a
is
Is a
flow
flow
line.
line.
Flow
directional
line or
arrow.
a arrow shows the
uh,
orders of execution of program steps.
direction or flow line or something.
Yeah,
So
flow
this
line or arrow.
represents order of execution, as someone said. What's supposed to be executed next? The order of execution. So this diamond is a important one. Can
It's a decision to
Decision
determine
making.
which
Where
path of a
condition
program.
is written.
Is a decision. So this diamond will decide whether it should go to the next which process. For example, after the diamond, if I have two processes, so this diamond will decide which process I should execute or which activity or which operation I supposed to do after this. So it will have some conditions. Okay. If anyone is not speaking, could you please mute your mic? I'm hearing some echoes. Is it clear? So far, what are these four symbols? What does it mean?
Yes,
Yes,
We'll
sir.
sir.
take
It
one
is clear.
example. We'll take one flow chart from the lecture itself to explain how does it work. Okay.
So then for
Okay.
the input output, what is the diagram used?
For
For the input output, what is the diagram here being used?
I'm not getting like input output.
He's asking for taking the input from the user, I think.
Okay.
I guess output means
CT.
the printing statement. Sir, I guess
Oh,
that we can use in process box.
Process, yeah.
Yeah, we have to use it in process books. So
Like for
mostly,
initialization.
mhm. Mostly in first week four, we won't be taking much of input. Whatever the codes you see or whatever the flow charts you see. From fifth week onwards, we'll be taking the inputs, which will be passing it to the program. So it will be in the process box if you are giving some inputs.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Clear this drawings. We'll take one example. So for example, if I need to start the program, I'll have the rounded edge rectangle, which represents start of my program.
Starting terminal.
Okay. Then have a arrow which indicates what should be executed next. And I have a rectangle with sharp edges. Okay. This represents the process, as I said, process or activity which we do something here. So here, what I can do is I can assign some variable name. For example, I can assign sum equal to 0. Okay. Now what I do again, I have to say what I need to execute. For that, I use my arrow. Then I can use a symbol, diamond symbol. This is gonna be my decision node, I can say, or the decision that I wanted to make here. Okay. One decision I can make is you just don't execute end my program. For ending, I can again use the rounded rectangle in the corners. Rounded rectangle, this is not sharp. Okay. So for this decision, what I can write is if you have more card in pile 1, assuming all the cards are placed one by one on the top of each other. So if you have more card in pile 1, you just go and execute the next process. If you don't have, you just end the program. So if you have more card in pile 1, what you are supposed to do is you have a next process. That next process, what you are saying is you pick a card and read it from pile 1. Okay, this is the next process what I supposed to do if I have more card in my pile 1. So after reading it, what you need to do? You can
We
do
need
anything.
to move that to pile 2.
You can move it to pile 2, but before moving to pile 2, I can do some operations and store it in this sum variable, right? Because this is the variable I have. Sum is a variable. So assume whenever I say variable, it's a value will be keep on changing. Okay. So here the sum is my variable. I can do some operations before I move it to pile 2. So what I can do is sum equals to
Sum plus card X marks.
sum plus you can this also you can say it as x, whatever the card you are reading, and you can say add x dot total. If I wanted to write in a formula way, this is how I can write it, or you can simply say it in a verbal form also. Add total mark to the sum variable. This also you can take sum variable. So after that, once you've done some operation, what you can do is you just once read the card, you keep the card away, right? You don't need to do anything on that. So once you read the card, you move it to next card. This is, I can say it as pile 2. This is the red cards. Whatever the cards you already did red, that you keep it away, those are red cards. You just move the card to pile.
Sir, we can also update the sum variable after moving the card to pile 2, right? I mean, the order
Yeah,
doesn't matter, right?
the order doesn't matter, but you have to store it somewhere.
Okay.
So before moving to pile 2, or if you are moving pile 2 first, then you are doing the sum. You need to store this total mark somewhere by using another variable, right? Here I'm not storing this total mark anywhere, if you see. I just read the card and directly I updated in my sum variable.
Yes, sir.
That's the key difference.
Okay, sir.
Okay. And once you move the card, what you need to do is you need to check in. You need to check whether do you have more cards or not. For that, what I will do, again I'll redirect to this decision. So again it will come and check in my pile 1 whether it has more card or not. Again it will read the card and store it. You can store it as a X if you want, or you just pick a card and pile 1. Then you update the sum. Again you move to the next.
Sir, some echo is happening from your
Mm,
voice.
I think someone has not muted. Could you please mute yourself
There
if
is
you
an
are not
echo.
speaking? Hello, could you please all mute yourself if you guys are not speaking? Now it's fine, right?
Yes, sir, it is fine.
I think someone has not muted.
Sir, in that diamond box, we can mention yes or no there, right? In that arrow, just above that arrow.
Yeah, that also you can do. The as given in the course, you can. This is just to represent whether we are moving in right direction. If it is yes, you go it here. If it is no, you just enter. This is what you are seeing, right? Okay. Any doubts in this flow chart, like how we are using the
Yes,
process, decision symbols?
sir, in the flowchart, we are moving cards from pile 1 to pile 2. After reading them, is this pile 2 technically? Hello, sir, I'm audible.
Pile
Hello.
2.
Pile 2, after reading them, is this pile 2 technically acting like a buffer to ensure we don't process the same data twice?
No, we are not processing, right? Once you store it in pile 2, we are not reading it, right? We are reading it whenever there is a card in pile 1.
Mm, okay, sir, thank you.
If you see it here, you just checking whether there is a card in pile 1. If there is a card, you read the card only from pile 1. Here, if you see, we are just moving it. We are not reading or we are not doing anything on the pile.
Okay, sir.
Okay. See, once you have asked your doubt, please mute yourself. I'm hearing some echo.
From where we have used this total, we have not mentioned in the flowchart.
This total. Okay. So I just assumed here as a scores data set. So this is what
Sir, one
I
doubt you
said.
said
You
that,
can.
sir, you said like in the diamond, it's the decision box, sir. Like whenever we have to make a decision, we have to put it in the diamond box.
Hmm.
And sir, one thing you said that after this, like we have to also place the card once it is moved to pile two. On that thing, I have a little confusion, sir. Like when we have to place the card after moving it or just after the operation.
After this operation, you can move it to pile. This is the operation or activity you do. Once you're done with the operation, you move the card to pile. So this x dot total is nothing but it came from this course data. So each card has a name, city, DOB, gender, math, physics, chemistry, and total. So I represented this total as a x dot total since I read the card and named it as x. That's why I said you can write it in a verbal form also. This we will be seeing in future weeks. As of now, you can consider it a verbal form like this.
Yes, sir. What happened to the sum variables? If one of the cards has invalid or missing data, thus the algorithm crash or should be added a validation step before adding it to the sum.
Not getting. What kind of validation you would like to add?
Mm, if the
Okay.
if any card should not if any step missing, then what happen in the to the sum
Yeah.
variables? Some of
If any step is missing, it depends on the step
G.
also. If any step is missing, either it should throw error or it should update your sum in a wrong way. So as of now, I'm just executing how the flow works. Once we read the code, maybe then you will be able to understand better. So I'll add one more condition here. So for example, I'm using the sum to get the total of every student, right? Total marks of every student. Suppose I want to get total marks of students only who have marks greater than 250. So I'm assuming those who scored greater than 250, they might be good in the class to do some activity or something. So I want only their total marks, what their sum. So in that case, how can I modify this flowchart?
Sir, after picking the card from pile 1, there you can check that if x dot total is greater than 250 in a decision box. Then you can update the value of sum.
So before updating the sum, what I can do is here I can add a decision block with whether the x dot total is greater than 250 or not. If it is greater than 250, you go and add the sum. Yes, you do it. If it is no, you directly go to this step. You just move the card to pile 2 without doing anything.
What is sum plus x total?
So just adding the total mark of the scores data set. You can
So what we
see
need to do sum plus x total?
the total mark of the card.
But sir, like
Total mark.
what we are doing is that if any sum is less than 250, we are not adding it to our sum, na sir.
See, that's why
But
if it is no, this decision, if it is no, I can rewrite it here. So I can just rewrite that part alone here. Okay. So you pick a card. You can read the card. Okay. Read the card in pile 1. Then you have a decision. Okay. This decision will tell you whether total greater than 250 or not. So if it is yes, you go and do the add the total to the sum. Okay.
but
Then after adding, you just move the card to pile 2.
Sir,
Move
can
to
you
pile
please
2.
Sir, can you tell
explain
me?
this with real example?
Okay.
But sir,
If
like all those cards are still like added from the previous cards, so it's already more than 250, sir. Yes, sir. So the individual like suppose there is one card 300, we have added it like 300 plus 300 plus 300, so it's like 1200. So if like 1200 will always be, sir, greater than 250 only, na sir? So that
No,
individual
no, no,
card, if
no,
it is less than.
no,
Sir,
no.
you tell
That's
me.
why you have to be careful. I'm checking total, not on sum, right? Some, as you said, some for the first iteration, for the first card, it will get 300. For the second card, it will get 250. On the third card, again, it might get 250. So, for example, total 800. In the fourth card, if I take the sum value, again, it checks the card total, individual card total. Because I mentioned total. Total refers to individual one, right? Only if I mention sum, then only the total value which I have summed so.
Sir, can you tell me now we are picking a card from pile 1. Once we read it, we are moving it to pile 2 and we have to repeatedly pick a card from pile 1, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So, sir, what you are saying is total more than 250, not some total more than 250. So that was the thing that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. This
Sir, you
If it
total
is
can
always
some.
refers to the
mention
individual
extra total.
individual total, right?
Okay, the individual value particularly.
Hmm. Okay, don't confuse this x or x dot total as of now. Okay, if it's confusing, as of now, just refer. I just added a total mark to the sum variable. Maybe in the
Can
second
you
week,
please
it will be more
explain
clear.
real
Don't
example?
don't make it confused. Okay. Then only if it is, you add the total to sum. If it is no, you just skip this sum operation. If it is no, you directly just move the card to pile. So this is how the decision blocks can make a difference on what you are supposed to do, what you cannot do. So this decision block always has a yes or no. So is it clear? Like
Yeah.
what is mean by four symbols, how we are using it in a flowchart?
Yes, sir, it's clear.
I'm assuming no more doubts. So before moving to next class.
Mm.
Yes, sir, it is clear.
Oh, good. Erase this.
Hello, sir. I have a query.
Hmm.
Sir, if there is a card in pile 1 which has the wrong data, let's take an example of marks of math. It has more than 100. Then
Hmm.
what will be the output of that?
What will be the?
Out What will be the output of this diagram?
I'm not
So,
getting like what you
total
are
no
asking.
field.
If the data has a wrong data,
Yes, there is a one card which has the maximum marks of math which is greater than 100. But what will be the sum of the this output?
the output will also be wrong, right? So there is something, I don't know how many of you check. There is something called sanity of data, right? So it is always good practice to check whether the data is actually fall in range or whether the data is actually correct. As you said, the marks should always lie between 0 to 100. If it's less than 100, sorry, if it is greater than 100 or less than 0, uh, it is not even considered as a mark, right? I'm taking a classic example where we don't have negative marks, okay, and bonus marks too. Okay. So this is the case. So whenever before we are doing some operations in the flowchart or the actual code, it's always a good practice to check whether whatever the data we are reading, it is valid or not. So that we call as a sanity of data, or sanity data checking that we used to call. Okay.
Yeah,
Sir,
sure,
what
sir.
if we need to find the sum or average of the top 10 students of the class?
Again, you need to keep track of two values, right? Sorry, three. One you take sum, one you take total, another one you keep average. In starting, you just start the program and you assign it. After that, again, you have a condition whether card in pile 1 or not. Then you pick and read the card. Then again, you do the sum decision. You have to now check, sorry, not decision. Here you have to check the process the information here. So here, what you need to do is sum is equal to sum plus total. You can say, sorry, not
Like,
sum,
can you
count.
repeat the last thing that you said? Like this topic,
Sorry,
this one,
count.
sum total
Sorry,
of data.
count equal to count plus 1. So this is how it works. Like, so let's not go into top 10 or top 3 for in this first week. It might get confused. As of now, you can consider an example. Whenever you read the card and you can do this. And again, you can add it into the total variable also. Total equal to total plus card total. And the average you can, finally you can do an average. Once the no more cards are there, you can do an average, you can end them. Yeah. So what I was saying was the sanity of data. Sanity of this data is nothing but you are checking the validation of the data. For example, the marks should always have 0 to 100. For this, you can have a decision block. This decision block should check whether mark is greater than or equal to 0 and mark should be less than or equal to 100. If it is true, then you continue with the process whatever you do, or you just skip the data and you move the card to file. So not only for the marks, it's always good to have a validation for the other data that you are reading also. But in the CT, we won't be focusing much on data validation, but it's always a good practice to do the data validation whenever you write the code. If you go to the Python or you write code in any language, it's always good to have such validations. Okay. Mm. Okay. Any doubts here so far? We'll move to the
So this
next
right
concept.
one that you explained this flowchart, if you can explain it again, like didn't
Which one?
this right one that you have written average, like this count 0, sum 0, total 0, average 0. Like, can you explain this? Like, what did you mean by all those?
No, I was just giving an example how to calculate the average. How to calculate the average. So I'm just using the same start, the rounded rectangle. Then you use the process box. You assign all those variables and you check whether there are more cards in pile 1. If yes, you pick and read and you do the operation. You increment the count, you add the total, and you move the card to pile 2. Okay. Then after moving to pile 2, you just go and check whether there are more cards or not. If it is no, finally again you add one more process. In this process, you compute the average. Average is equal to total by count, and finally you end the process. This is how we used to calculate the average mark in a data set, right? Is it clear or is it confusing? The only change what I did is the average process I made it after the no condition if there are no more cards in pile. So we can place the process box anywhere. That depends on the condition. Is it clear?
So the last thing that you said, when there is no more in pile, what is the significance of that?
It means your pile 1 is empty. This pile 1 empty says whether you don't have cards or you read all the cards. If you have read all the cards, you have stored the total and count, right? So finally, if your cards is empty, at that point time, if you calculate your average, then it will give you the correct average mark, right? If you are calculating average in between, that's not the total average for the entire data set. It's not the total average for all the students.
Sir, but at the end, it will give the correct one, right? If we insert
If
that
I am
average in
doing,
between.
that's why I'm doing, at this point, the pile 1 will be empty. That means it has read all the cards.
Yes, sir.
Sir, what would be the error in that if you make it and tell us like when it has not read all the card and it is showing the average, like something like that?
That means your whatever the average you have computed, that's wrong, right?
Yes, sir. So in this flowchart, what could be the error in a way where you can make an error and tell us like?
See, in a program, whenever if you are getting some wrong value, it doesn't throw an error because the program doesn't know uh, what your operations. Program just executes whatever you are giving the command, do this and that. That's why we are executing in a process, because program doesn't know, is it correct by computing here, is it correct when should I compute it first or last. That you should decide whether should I compute this at first, whether should I compute it last, whether should I assign it in first initial itself or assign it in between. That is the thought and logic process whenever someone writes the code, right? So it might give wrong value if you just replace it with some other place. It will give you the wrong value. Won't throw any errors at all. So the flowchart will be correct. It's not an error, but it will give you the wrong. That's it.
So what if we remove the pile empty tile or that process?
This one.
Yes, sir. If there are no more cards in pile 1, and if we remove that process to
If we
check,
remove this, if we remove this decision, it won't even go to this one, right? Or it won't even go to this one also. The program will terminate here also. Abruptly, it will terminate by here because it doesn't know what I'm supposed to do next without this decision. It will abruptly end here.
like what if I forgot to put that diamond there and directly go to the pick a card thing? Then what will happen?
Pick a card. First, you need to define. It will pick a card, that is for sure. But when your program will end, if you don't have this decision block
Okay,
and the
okay.
decision one.
Sir, what was the condition you said when it will abrupt endly? What is the
If you don't have this diamond symbol here, if I remove this diamond symbol, but I have the remaining one, okay, and which I don't have a link to it also. That means this program will abruptly end here. Even though I have end here, it will end here also because we don't have a direction that supposed to say I need to execute this.
Sir, supposing that like at the initial stage, we do not have any card in pile 1, right? Then in that case, can we do some modification in this code?
In initial stage, you have cards in pile 1, right?
Okay. Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay, let's move to the data types.
I have a doubt.
Yeah, please.
Can we interchange write count and total in the third?
Can we interchange the
Count and total. First we total and then count.
yeah, that also works.
It does not affect any.
That won't affect anything, right? Because you are calculating the average at the end of the program. At the end, it has read all the cards. So here
Okay.
order won't matter, right? Because you are not calculating the average anywhere in between. You are calculating the average once you read all the cards.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, can we interchange this pile where you have put the cross and pick and read? Like, can this whole diamond box come after pick and read?
After pick and read, yeah, you can modify. I'll leave that up to you. You can modify. You can have this at the end also. You can modify.
Uh, Hello, sir.
Hmm.
Sir, what I was asking is we should take assumption that we have at least one card in our file, right? Uh, like, let's say this is not in our assumption. There might be some empty file. Then in that case, like after this decision block, more cards in
Hmm.
pile one, can we set one more decision block and in that block we can write that if let's say if count is equal to 0, uh, uh, like then average will be 0, right?
Yeah. Actually, that's a
We
good
can do
catch.
this modification, right?
Yeah, that's a good catch.
Otherwise, in this process, average will not be defined. It will be in the 0 by 0 form.
Mm, yeah.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Good. Thank you, Bishwadip. Actually, that's a good catch that you have noticed. Yeah. So as you said, if the card is empty, the total and count will be 0. So in that case, what it will try to compute is 0 by 0, which is indeterminate form, which we have studied in mathematics. 0 by 0, it doesn't mean any value. It's just indeterminate, right? So in
Yes.
that case, I can where I can write. So just simply write it here, and I'll take it down and write it here. So in this case, what you can do is you can have a decision block in between here that you can say whether count is greater than 0 or not. If count is greater than 0, you go and compute this average. You go and compute this average. Yes. If it is no, you go and end the program.
Yes, sir. Because average is initially set to 0. Then,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
That's it. That's a good catch actually. Thank you. So that's why I said that the sanity of data check. It's very important whenever you write the code.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So generally, well, as we'll be assuming that there is no such error when we are going with the flowchart. Okay. So, but actually, that's a good catch. Whatever you do. Thank
Sir, this particular catch that he said, like you added count more than 0.
you. You are adding one more division block with whether if count is greater than 0.
That particular count of every card in a way. So,
Yes.
sir, I'm not able to understand why the count, like why we added that. Like, can you elaborate on that? Like,
Because if there is no card in pile one, your count will be 0, right?
okay, sir.
If if no card in pile one, that means empty card, empty in pile. Could you please mute yourself if someone is not muted? Sahej, could you please? If there is no card in pile one, what it will do is your count will not be updated, right? Your count and total won't be updated. because it will directly go and come to this no block. Because if there is no card, this part won't be executed. So it will go to this part. If you go to this part without decision block, this average will have 0 by 0, which is not right, which is indeterminate form, which you can't store
It's
also.
a total,
So
sir,
for
but the average is like total upon count, basically.
hmm
So the total would,
yes,
how total would be zero, sir? Because total is total like.
because there is no card, right? If you haven't read any card, how the total will be updated to some value? If this block of code is not executed, your total also won't be updated. Your count will also be not updated, right?
No, sir. If the okay, sir.
So for that, in order to avoid this case, we are adding a decision whether count is greater than or equal to 0 or not. If it is greater than 0 means, so this block of code has been executed at least once, so that it has a count and total. It has some values, that means. So if it has some values, by assuming this with this decision block confirms it has some values, then you calculate the average, else you just end the program. So in that case, you won't end with this issue, indeterminate form.
So, sir, basically, you added this count diamond box count more than zero just for the first count. Now, once it is more than one, then to it is not that much
Yeah, yeah.
required. Na? Just for the
Yes, yes.
first card, it's basically for the first card in a way.
Yeah. Okay. I hope everything clears. A lot of things were clear about the flowcharts now. Okay, let's move to the next one. Let's move to the concept of data types. So there are various data types which we'll be looking at. The basic data types are Boolean. So Boolean is nothing but it will take true or false values. And the next one is integer. Integer will take all the numbers. It can take minus numbers also, -1, -2, or up to I can say in the range of -infinity to infinity, but not -infinity and infinity are not included. Right? This I can say, but only numbers, not with any float values. So this I cannot say like this because this consists float values also. So I can say simply this is nothing but a integers. Okay. And with the integers, you can do operations like plus, minus, multiplication, division. You can compare with one number with another number, like 30 greater than 35 or not. And you can compare. This symbols denotes greater than or equal to. And you can say equal, not equal. These are all operations that you can. Next is float. In float, there's nothing but it represented as a point. So for example, 23.40. So this we can represent as a float. So in the course, you might have seen that we also
Okay, what
represent
about
this
character in data type?
float. Hello. So in course, if you have studied this, the professor said this float value can also be converted and stored into an integer. So nothing but you just multiply 23.4 into 100 and store it as an integer 2340. If you say exactly if I say 2340, it only. But it's not the right way. But this is one of the option you can do if you are rounding it off precisely. Okay. And if you take this and you can again convert this into float form by dividing it by 100, 2340 by 100. This will give you again into a float. This was also discussed in the lecture. So it's nothing but you can convert float into integer and integer into float. That also can be done.
Okay.
Okay. And next, it is a character. Character means what? Can anyone? Many of them can be confused here. Can anyone say what is mean by character?
Any single
Sir, alphabet
alphanumeric value.
letters.
Any single
Value.
letter, right?
Alphabets.
Not.
Alphanumeric value.
Special symbols.
I
Special
can say
symbols
as a
too.
single letter which includes alphabets from capital A to Z or small a to Z, or numbers, single numbers. The numbers which from 0 to 9, those are single. That also can be considered as character. And special symbols in the sense whatever the operators I mentioned, and apart from that you can use the other symbols, like these are also as symbols that are also can be considered as a character. Okay. So any letter or anything that is single, only one. If I assign it in a variable, I can say this is a character. I assign it in a variable char, and I can assign this as a character. And characters are usually represented in a single code, but again that depends on the programming languages. And I can say this is also a character. This and is also a character. Anything that is only one, that is called as a character. Okay. Then string. String is nothing but
sequence of character.
sequence of characters. Sequence of characters in the sense you can mix any group of characters, you can say, in fact, if you want to simplify. So I can say my name is a string because it's nothing but each individual is a character, and I combined all the character with my to represent my name. It is called a string, I can say. Not only in case of alphabets, you can take any password that you type in any of the site, which usually mixes with alphabet, uh, numbers, and symbols, right? That is also considered as a string. This password is also considered as a string. Generally, whatever you type in any of the site. So any uh, group of character is called as a string. You can, if you want to easily remember, instead of saying sequence of character. But in the definition, you need to remember this, the sequence of character. But if you want to simply remember in an easy way, you can assume as a group of characters. Okay.
Then, sir, like contact number also can be a string. Even it is integer numbers, we can take it under the string.
That you can do. Again, I don't want to touch upon any programming language. The numbers, if you represent in any random 10 digit, 9876 or 1234, the 10 digit part, this is a integer, you can say this is as a integer, and but you can store this as a string also if you put as a double quotation, because this generally depends on how you are storing it. You can store this as an integer or you can store it as a string also.
So, sir, we have to put this two commas for integer.
We won't be following in the course, but generally this is what we do in most of the programming languages. That's why I put double quotes. But
So,
every
is it a
programming
string?
language is
So, is it? Do we call it a string? Like if numbers are
uh,
put like 987612 with commas, do we call it string?
we can call it as a string and as well as integer in the CT course. But if you go to programming languages, we represent something called quotes. This quotes will be represented in order to assume whether it is a integer or string.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
You just said if we put a number inside a string, it will be known as integers and a string. But anything under the double commas like quotes is known as string. How is it going to be integer?
So that I don't want to confuse now. That depends on the programming syntax. But in CT, you can consider it as a both as a string and integer together. We'll mention it whether it is considered to be string or integer in the question.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
So how the integer is differently used than string?
For example, as someone said, this mobile number can be said as integer if you can perform some operations.
Hmm.
For example, you can do some addition, subtraction, multiplication, and get some new mobile number.
Hmm.
That generally no one does, which is not possible also. So in that case, it always good to assume it as a string, right? Because integer, if you assign it to some integer, it's always good to have some operations. If you are not going to perform any operations on the integer,
Mm-hmm.
then it's no point of assigning it as an integer unless it's a constant variable.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Oh,
Shall we able to change string into integer in some cases?
no, that again depends on programming languages. In some languages, they are allowed to change. In some languages, they are not allowed to change. So that's the good part in the CT course. In CT course, we won't be discussing anything specific about the languages, but we'll be introducing to all the programming concepts which will be there in almost in all the languages. So these are the basic data types that we have studied in week 1. But there are some more data types we'll be studying after week 5, which is called list and dictionaries, which are very important.
Sir, what it is
So, but
called?
as of list and dictionary, so which we won't be covering in week 1 to 4, but we'll be covering from week 5 to 8 majorly. Even it will go up to 12 up to till 12th week. Okay. But as of now, we'll be focusing on these 5 data types only. So that's how the CT course will give you a brief introduction to how programming languages work and how do you define your logic to write a code in any of the programming languages. That's what the CT courses tries to teach. Not exactly the programming syntax and not exactly the concepts which were involved in specific languages. It assumes as a general concepts and the flow of logical execution and general data types that we used to have in almost in all the programming languages, so that you can able to easily adapt to any of the programming languages if you know the syntax, so that you won't be even get to stuck with one programming languages. Okay.
So can you explain list and records?
Can we discuss it in next session?
Yes, sir.
List and dictionary. I think only that part alone I missed it. The list and dictionary part. So anyways, we'll be covering from in week 5, but in a brief, we'll cover it in next session. because we won't be covering this in week 1 to 4. We won't be using it in week 1 to 4, and this won't be coming to the exams also.
So, but list is on the first week in course section, week one content, list and
Just to give
records.
it's just to give an idea what is mean by list and dictionary. Record is nothing but it's a data of each card, you can say, right? In simple word, I can say is each card. Each card, because each card is a record and each record has some fields. So, for example, I'll just quickly go explain this alone. So, this record I can assume as a each card in each card in dataset. Okay, and this record will have some fields and values. Fields and values. Again, if I take a scorecard example, for example, in card one, I have name, I have gender, I have date of birth, I have city, I have math, physics, chemistry, total, and everything has some value, right? Everything
Yes, sir.
has some value to it. Something. Everything will have some value, 97, 86, or 250. I'm just putting random values here. Okay. Everything has a value. So we can consider this as a record altogether. And each these things, the left side, whatever I'm doing, this is a field. Name, gender, DOB, these are fields. And the right side, whatever I'm having, these are values. So this is what taught in the course. Okay.
So this is also same as listed dictionary.
You can say it as dictionary, but I don't want to touch upon dictionary and list now.
Sir, so
So
it takes
we'll
multiple.
discuss that in very much detail in week 5 and 6 in after week 4.
Answer data types operations.
Data type
Operations.
that we already discussed, right? In integer, we can do plus, minus, and multiplication, division, comparisons, and equal to, not equal to. In Boolean, you can just check whether it is equal to, or not equal to, or if it is greater than or less than, that also can be checked, except these arithmetic operators. In string, again, you can check whether it is equal to, or not equal to. So these are the operations that again defined in our course as of now.
Sir, so can we say
Sir,
that it holds multiple data types?
Sorry?
A record can hold multiple data types. Can we say like that?
Yeah. Here also, if you see the card, in this case, can be considered as a character or integer since it's having only single digit. If I say 11, definitely it's an integer. Okay, and this we can say it as string since it has consists of multiple characters. But gender is a character. In the data set, if you carefully see, gender either holds male or female. So this gender is a character. This date of birth, again string, city string, these four are integers. So a record can consist of multiple data types.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
So when you collect all the records, then it becomes a list, correct?
Uh, yeah, you can say a group of record that you can store it in list. So as of now, don't worry about much about record and list and dictionaries. Just uh, just you need to know what is mean by record, fields, and values. And you might be getting some questions in activity questions, but uh, I can say that you won't be getting questions in quiz one. because I don't want to confuse you in the first week itself. From fifth week onwards, we will be discussing this list dictionary in very much detailed manner.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Any more doubts
Sir,
before
there is
ending the
one thing
session?
actually, sir. Actually, I'm also doing a job. I'm also doing a night shift with that. So, particularly the CT sessions that you are taking, that is available in the YouTube. That I can actually watch it after it also. But particularly, I'm talking about the TA sessions. If it is recorded and if it is maintained in the Google Sheet by the TA, if it can be shared in calendar also. So, those recorded TS sessions, it would be very much helpful to me and all the students. So there would be a revision also, and we can just see it. So if that
Mm,
link particularly of the recorded session of TA particularly that is not live on YouTube, if it is shared on the calendar.
yeah. Okay, sure. Sure, we'll update it in the calendar.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, Shika.
Sir, is it mandatory to purchase a reference book for computer?
Reference book for this course?
Yeah,
Not
computational thinking.
not mandatory to purchase it.
Okay. On the foundation level, na? And on
But
further
see,
levels?
generally in every courses we used to recommend some of the books, but it's not mandatory to purchase a book unless and until you wish to explore more things and you wish to read the concept by your book. But we'll be covering all the concepts, whatever taught in the lectures, and we'll be discussing the doubts which you are having. We'll be discussing either through the session or discourse forums if you are posting it. So generally in sessions, sometimes we won't be having that much of time to discuss everyone's doubt. In that case, you can post it in discourse forum. We'll be uh, sharing the answers or we'll be discussing your doubts, and your fellow students also can also help you with whatever the doubts you are having in that discussion.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay.
Can we leave the
One
class?
thing I'm still unclear with, like we used piles like pile 1 and pile 2 for the process. So we didn't feed the piles to the process for the program. So do we need to add that to the process or it is a completely different thing?
Can you repeat the question once? Sorry.
So the data were in the piles that we use like pile 1 and pile 2.
Yes.
So do we have to feed that pile to the program or the process or it's a different thing?
No, no. As I said, the CT course will tries to tell you how the flow of execution happens in any of the programming language. It's not like you just feed it or something. As of now, we are assuming this is how the flow starts. Okay. So in this assumption, we are assuming the pile already there is something called pile one which has a set of cards. That's it. Okay. Anything else?
Sir, I have a doubt about the graded assignment. Can I discuss about it? You.
You can discuss it, but
Sir, actually, there's a problem, I guess, because there is in the common data set of the scores data set, there is one card. The total is 250. So, and in the question that is written if the the total marks is above 250, then increment the card, but there is no equal to sign. So do we increment it or leave it, sir?
You should skip it, right? It's if it is greater than,
Yes.
it's strictly greater than, right?
Yes, sir. Yes. Thank you, sir.
Sir, what is the current guideline for the graded assignment, sir? Earlier it was like it is added in the CGPA. Now it is not added in the CGPA. So what is the minimum graded assignment marks we need to qualify so that we can sit in the exams?
It's average of 40. The best 7 or 9 out of assignments, I guess, from the grading policy.
So
So
we
the GAs will only determine whether you are eligible, or for that eligibility you need to get an average of 40. Okay.
like the overall graded assignment average should be 40.
No, out of 5 in 7, I think.
The best of 5 out of 7, you are saying.
Yeah, yeah.
So we can skip the 2 if the time don't permit in a way. So sometimes it can happen. Okay.
Yeah, that always has option. So you can just refer to the grading document. So grading documents, this time we have only eligibility based on grading assignment for the exams. We are not assigning any specific marks to it. So, but we always recommend you to attempt PAs and GAs before you going to the exam, okay? Because there might be a questions which you might feel similar to the PAs and GAs.
Sir, in foundation level, term 1, term 2, and term, every exam should be held in MCQs type.
No, it is mixed of MCQ and MSQs and numerical questions also.
Sir,
But it's not objective.
Sir, if supposed a person not able to score more than 40, so he's not be eligible to sit in the main examination also and the monthly examination also and the quiz also.
For end term only we have eligibility, I guess, not for quiz one.
Okay. So for the end term, the final exam that happen after the all the weeks, so you have to be like 40% at least for 5. You're saying that.
If you missed both two monthly exams, you don't need. You will not allow in sit final exam.
For final exam, again there is a criteria. One thing you need to have an average mark, and another thing you should have attended either quiz one or quiz two to sit in final exam.
But sir, if someone is like having good in quiz 1, quiz 2, and suppose because of the job and all, sometimes the graded assignment got missed or little, that is a little bit on the borderline. A person would not be able to sit in the exam. That is a little crucial thing for somebody.
For that we can't do anything. But anyways, we are keeping an average of 40. If you are performing well in first 5 assignments, then you don't need to worry about the other assignments. Even if you are missing by chance 1 or 2, then you don't need to worry.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah,
Sir, if one has performed well in quiz one, they don't have to uh, uh, attend quiz two.
no, they have to attend. Otherwise, you will be losing some marks, right?
Both quizzes are mandatory.
Yes, both quizzes have some weightage in your final score. But there is an option to skip one of the quizzes, but you will lose some marks in your final score.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. Uh, okay, guys, then thank you. Bye bye. Thank you for joining the session.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
सर
सर नहीं है बेटा, सर नहीं है। आराम।
चुप चुप बिल्कुल चुप।
हेलो,
बदतमीजी नहीं।
कहाँ से हो भाई?
हाय
मोहम्मद
गाइस,
अजहर।
वेयर आर फ्रॉम अब्रॉड और इंडिया।
भाई
हेलो।
कहाँ से हो? कौन सी सिटी से हो? कौन सी जगह से हो?
आई एम फ्रॉम,
क्या?
बिहार पटना।